352-639-2777. That's 352-639-2777.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. It is Vet News, and we have Joe Martone with us real quick.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Veterans News, brought to you every Thursday here on WOCA at 9 a.m. for a half hour. But every third week, it is an hour show. We have it with the VA Clinic. The fine folks from the VA Clinic come in and go above and beyond, not only helping us at the clinic, but coming out on the air and giving us new aspects to what's happening and answering your questions. And Veterans News is brought to you by Hires Baxley Funeral Services and Highland Memorial Park. Hires Baxley has had generations of families honor them with their trust and confidence. They believe it's because for the last 128 years, their team of caring professionals have established a reputation of serving families with excellence and compassion. Hires Baxley currently partners with the Boy Scouts of America Troop Number 72 to properly dispose of decommissioned American flags. They're also a drop-off location for the program Cell Phones for Soldiers, helping to provide minutes that matter and helping heroes home. Hires Baxley is located at 910 East Silver Springs Boulevard right here in Ocala, or you can call them with questions, 352-629-7171, 352-629-7171. Information can also be found at hires-baxley.com. Also, Veterans News is brought to you by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, 2610 Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. When it comes to landscaping, Bob Wines has what you need. Everything from small plants to large trees, mulch, fertilize, and so much more. Bob Wines will even deliver, plant, and guarantee their trees. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery has been keeping you blooming since 1952. Their contact number for questions about how, when, where, and why, 352-629-5766. That's 352-629-5766. Bob Wines offers 10% discount to veterans with proper identification. It's all yours, Tom. Thank you so much.
That means you don't get the discount because you...
Go ahead. Go ahead, roll with that one.
I'll just leave it alone.
Yeah. They're going to come and all letters to Tom.
Here we go.
All letters
there we go. See what happened there?
Yeah, I heard that.
See what happened?
All letters to Tom.
Of course, you write my check, so I better not turn your mic
Don't
on.
turn my mic on. All letters to Tom at WOCA.
Yeah, Tom at WOCA. That'll get you a lot. Get you a lot.
You'll respond. No,
hey,
God.
Speaking of people that are much better than us, in
Yes.
the studio joining us this morning, Dr. Jose Torres Rodriguez. He is the Chief Medical Officer at the VA Clinic here in Ocala. And Cecilia Millar, she is a registered nurse and nurse manager at the VA Clinic here in Ocala. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Tom.
The first question I have to ask, because it is a federal, the VA is a federal situation, with a new administration coming in, does that change the day-to-day operation at all, or is it something patients won't even notice?
No, there's no changes at all on anything.
Just
The
business
office-
as usual.
Yes, sir. No changes.
That's one of the beauties of the VA and the Veterans Administration and the military is no matter who's president, who's coming in, who's leaving,
We stay the same.
Operations,
It's all the same.
Operations
Stay the
still the same.
what do you, at the beginning of a new year, what are some of the challenges that you see coming in January as a new year starts? You see veterans come in, they've had the holidays, they've been with their families. Are you seeing an uptick in COVID or anything like that with the veterans?
Well, usually we see more influx of veterans coming to our area close to winter, October. That's when we start seeing like a little high peak of patients that are wintering in Ocala. They live here in the area during the winter months, and they leave by spring, like around March, April. But that doesn't slow down operations in the office. So currently we have close to 9,500 to 10,000 veterans enrolled in Ocala, VA. And we also provide services to veterans no matter where they are enrolled. So if a veteran needs services for some reason, we accommodate their needs accordingly.
Cecilia, with the winter time, do you see an influx though of people that they come in with flu type symptoms and this COVID type symptoms? Are you seeing that on the day-to-day operations as the nursing manager?
Yes, we do have a lot of patients coming in with flu-like symptoms. And if you're questioning us earlier regarding with this after the holidays, if we see anything about with the COVID things, we do have with the testings that we're doing, yes, we do see a lot of more patients. We're testing more patients.
Is the VA, because you hear about the health departments giving out vaccines, you hear about Publix is now a place to give out vaccines, but is the VA getting its supply of vaccines to give to veterans as well?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And are we getting the Moderna, the Pfizer, or both?
Both. Well, Ocala has Moderna vaccine, and Gainesville has Moderna and Pfizer, and Lake City.
In Lake City.
Correct.
How has the pandemic adjusted how services at the VA are rendered?
Well, the operations the interaction face-to-face is limited. It's preferred to do more video visits and virtual visits than face-to-face for several reasons. To protect the patients to get exposed, even though we use masks, it's required to use masks in the facility at all times, patients and employees, or a face shield. If the patient can't use a mask, we allow the patient to use a face shield, but the face need to be covered. And at the beginning of the pandemic, it was all the operations were, it was a cultural change for everybody. That's when we changed from a traditional medicine world to a total electronic telephone virtual world that we are not used to. And we slowly progressed from a 25 opening to now we are on a 50% of opening of appointments face-to-face and virtual visits. Again, it's preferred the virtual method just for protection of our patient population, and it's been working very well. Most of the patients like it because of the safety concerns, and the labs, well, they need to come to the office to get labs done because we use labs for chronic medical conditions. We need diagnostic labs. And for certain procedures, we need the patients to come to the office.
We're talking with Dr. Jose Torres Rodriguez, the Chief Medical Officer of the Veterans VA Clinic here in Ocala. Cecilia Millar, she's the nurse manager here. Cecilia, do you find that one of the silver linings of the pandemic that we've been under is that you can give good health care and do it virtually?
Yes, we do. We are able to do it. And a perfect example is, for example, high blood pressure. We do monitor it, and you can monitor it at home because we do provide blood pressure monitors for patients. So
and then I just, in the virtual, take my blood pressure,
you
we
can
talk
take
about it.
We can advise you, you can check it, and virtually you can do it at home, and you can check your you can check your blood pressure at home. We can address it directly how your pressure was after you've taken your medications. You can check your blood pressure for a whole week. We can adjust your medication while doing it virtually. The same with your blood sugar. You can be talking to your dietitian. You can be talking to your pharmacist. You don't literally be in the clinic because we can do it virtually and adjust.
I've always thought the most dangerous place to be in any kind of medical place, whether it's the VA clinic, whether it's a doctor's office, whether it's an ER waiting room, the worst place to be in person is around a bunch of other sick people.
That's true.
So to me, this virtual thing, because I'm a germaphobe, so this virtual thing, somebody goes, well, you don't have a mask on. I'm about 8 feet from you, so I feel like I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me talking all the time to wear a mask.
That's true.
But I'm a germaphobe. And before this whole thing hit, I still washed my hands 15, 20 times a day.
So that's
And are people starting to grasp, or veterans, because I know this is a group of, sometimes it's older gentlemen and older women that are set in their ways and they've done things so long in their life. Are you finding that a lot of them are starting to come around to the fact that they need to, that common sense is what prevails here, washing your hands regularly, not invading personal space of other people? Are you finding they're starting to come around to understanding that's how we're going to win this thing?
Well, that's what we keep reinforcing, but you can see the numbers of the county, how the positivity rate, it's still high. It's
Above 10%, which is where we don't want it to be.
correct. Well, it's between 13 and 16, and the highest was 17%, which is extremely high, and it's concerning because people is dying because of this. It's dying with respiratory. They die full of fluids in the lungs
They
or
drown.
infected.
It's almost like congestive heart failure.
Correct, drowned, and it's a sad and painful death. It's not.
I watched my mother when I'll be the first to tell you, when this thing hit, I thought that's like the flu.
Yeah.
That's you get sick, you lose your taste, you lose your smell.
Correct.
If you're under the age of 65, the survival rate is very, very good. And if you're over 65, you need to take precautions. So I was one of those. And then I had a friend of mine who's a doctor go, but it's like congestive heart failure. People are actually drowning in their own fluids. And I thought, I watched my mother die of complications to COPD. Her complication was congestive heart failure. And I watched her gurgling the last couple of days and couldn't talk. And when she did talk, it sounded like she had water and bubbles coming up out of her throat.
Yes.
You could just draw it out.
Yeah, and that's what you're talking about is
Yes.
how this this is the same respiratory.
Yeah.
And a guy like me, I took it lightly, but a guy like me with asthma, it's probably not the best thing to do to take it lightly.
Our main and principal work is prevention because we are primary care providers.
Right.
The hospitals are immediate care, so they are going to treat you because you're sick. Our work and main principal work is to prevent
you from
diseases.
getting
That's
it.
why we keep reinforcing and stressing population, use your mask, wash your hands. You
Stay
can
away.
use soap or sanitizer. For hand sanitizer is good up to 3 times. The 4th time you need to wash your hands with water and soap. Of course, depends where you are, because sometimes if you don't have water and soap close to you, well, then you can do as much as you want your hand sanitizer. But the rule of thumb here is just wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, keep your face covered. Avoid large crowds. We love family, yes. But this is a chain. I don't know where have you been. You don't know where I have been. And I know I protect myself, but I don't know if you're protecting yourself. It's kind of doubt and question, and we want to hug our family members, and we want to go back to where we were before. But now it's time just to wait a little bit and give us the chance to pass this.
This reminds me a lot. The COVID pandemic right now reminds me a lot of growing up in the early 80s. I was a teenager in the early 80s, and, I was coming of age, and, teenagers come of age, whether parents want to admit it or not, sex is a big part of what we talk about. It just is. That's part of growing up. And I came up right in 83, 82, 83, 84, when we had an issue called AIDS. That people, it scared everybody. You
Yes.
didn't, and like you said, you didn't know where you take precautions for yourself, but you didn't know where the person next to you were,
Correct.
and we didn't know whether AIDS was spread by touching each other.
Correct.
I see a lot of similarities in these
Yes.
two. Do you see the same corollary there?
Well, the transmission is different,
Right,
but
transmission,
Kinda.
but the hysteria, the
yes,
frightening
correct.
part of it.
Yes, it is. It's very similar. And now when you have an employee that is sick, we do contact tracing. So you need to contact who was around that person and who was around that other
And when
person.
he says contact tracing, he means like the 6 steps to Kevin Bacon.
Correct.
That's
That's true.
Yes.
Your friends, and then who are your friends' friends, and who are your friends' friends' friends.
Correct.
Because it can spread.
Possibly,
Right.
Correct. So if you're sick, and then during the interview, you went to a family party.
Who were there?
So we know that you went to a gathering. So but now we need to find out who you were in contact to within 15 minutes or more around it and less than 6 feet. So, and that kind of open a can of worms, like everybody need to get tested, monitor symptoms, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
With the veteran population, though, because you see veterans, and there's a large homeless population of veterans, are you finding that the veterans that come in that may be transients or may be in between homes or stuff, are you finding that they're sick with COVID as well?
Well, the homeless population, the veterans, and the VA homeless, the hot vash program, the patients, they need to get tested before they get housing with
Certainly.
one of, and I don't recall seeing most of the patients homeless with COVID.
So far.
Some people,
So
and
far.
I played devil's advocate, so I've heard numerous scientists say that and these are in Europe, so I don't know if it applies here, that the homeless population is less susceptible because they're out in germ-infested areas and they're immune. Some people will tell you a homeless person's immune system is better than mine and yours because of what they're subjected to on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Could be.
Correct. It's
And so
like
it gives people a false sense of security. Oh, well, he's homeless. He's got a better immune system. He's probably not going to get sick. Or
correct.
she's not going to get sick.
It's like us in a non-mask basis. Usually we are exposed more to different germs than regular
normal person, yeah.
population. And if you work in a hospital, it's even worse. Nurses and doctors in the hospitals and staff that work in a hospital, they get exposed to superbugs, which is bugs that are not in a traditional or outside the hospital setting.
I'd say this was a super bug, the way it's killing people and the way it's going.
It can be considered one, yes.
What are some programs that y'all have right now that you want to talk about? We got a few more minutes that we got rest, but I want to get into some of the programs that you want to make people aware of in the new year that are going on at the VA.
Well, we have multiple programs. One is now that is booming is home telehealth. Like Miss Cecilia Millara was saying, the veterans can monitor their blood pressure. We can provide equipment, and a nurse remotely will track the patient and monitor the readings and the blood sugar readings. We have programs for congestive heart failure. We have a cardiac rehab program that all of those are monitored remotely. We have virtual visits using VA Video Connect with primary care, with all specialty. What
Yeah,
other?
we have all the telehealth programs, home telehealth programs. We have the CBT for all specialties. We have in the usual. We didn't have any added new program except for the CBTs, but we have the usual the battlefield acupuncture, which was added. You've had that before, Dr. Torres
Correct.
does that. We have the usual diabetic classes that we have. We have, in our clinic, we have mental health, we have nutrition, we have audiology, optometry, and mental health. And
Wow,
primary care.
I didn't realize you had optometry, optometrist, nutritionist, all at the VA clinic right there at the Cascades.
Well, the audiology and optometry is here behind Walmart.
Oh, yes.
Walmart,
that's
yeah.
right. Behind what- yeah.
But that's all
And,
part of our service.
In the Cascade, we have mental health, primary care, virtual care, lab collection, enrollment, and eligibility. And soon, very soon, this year, summer, fall, We're moving to a new facility here in town.
A beautiful new facility.
Yes, yes.
He has a mask on, but when you saw his eyes light up when he said yes, yes,
Yes, yes.
You're looking forward to that, aren't you, Doctor?
Yes,
Yes,
I
we
am.
all
Yes,
are.
we all are.
We can't wait.
We all are.
We
I mean,
can't
and the
wait.
Cascades, by the way, has been a very good resource for you guys. It's been a very
yes.
good place for your clinic for a very long time.
Yes.
We're going to miss our waterfall.
But you're
Yes.
going to, you need more room, basically.
Yeah.
And the Cascades is its purposefulness has reached its maximum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you kick everybody else out of the Cascades,
Yeah.
you've reached capacity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the clinic has been operating in the Cascade for 21 years, 22 years.
I remember this radio station
Was
was
there.
downstairs of you guys
Yes.
for the longest time.
Yes, yes. So the address of the new location for those that are listening is Southwest 49th Street and 48th Avenue. There's a new road that is coming behind the clinics. There's a project coming from Marion Oaks, and also you can access the clinic through the 200.
Right. The connector road that they're building through there is the clinic will be accessible with that connector road.
Yes. So for those veterans that live in Marion Oaks, the Waterways area, it's gonna be 5 minutes from their houses.
Wow.
For people that live over here, it'll be a little farther, but it'll be easy access because of the major roadways that get you there.
Correct. You have the interstate right there, a mile away. You have restaurants around, hospitals around.
Is there a bus route that still is going to run by the
There
new
will
clinic?
be a bus
Yes,
stop,
they're
right?
gonna extend. The city is gonna extend. The mayor is gonna extend the bus route. Yes.
The bus, so you still have, because I know one of the best things about the Cascades is it's right on a major bus line.
Yes.
So veterans that don't have vehicles still have access
Yeah.
very easy.
They said they're
through
going
the
to
bus
extend
system.
it.
Yes, yes. We're gonna have parking for 350 cars more.
Now, is the Cascades going to stay? Are you going to keep the Cascades at any kind of capacity?
No.
No,
No. So you're moving off the boulevard altogether.
Yes.
Moving everything to
there's one place.
All the services are gonna-
audiology, optometry, everything will move to the one place.
One place.
everybody.
Be a
under one
one-stop
roof.
shop. Makes it much
Yes.
easier for people.
Yes, yes.
When we come back from break, I want to ask you about, because I have friends who work in the homeless communities. They go out, they minister to the homeless, they talk to homeless. I want to know if there's any outreach programs that the VA clinics are doing to actually go and talk to the homeless, to gauge how many veterans there are that are homeless, because a lot of times, because of PTSD and mental health issues and everything, veterans end up in situations where they can't get proper housing, or they have mental health issues that people don't want them in their housings. And so I want to talk to you about that, because I think with COVID and everything, it's important, but I think it's important to make sure that all our veterans are taken care of, no matter what their situations are. And sometimes I think that the homeless might fall through the cracks. So I want to talk to you about that. We're talking with Dr. Jose Torres Rodriguez. He is the Chief Medical Officer of the VA clinic here in Ocala, and Cecilia Malera. Is that right? I've been saying Malara, but it's Malera.
Malara.
Yeah, that's
Just as it's spelled.
That's South Georgia ease. She's the nurse manager at the VA clinic here in Ocala as well. We're going to take a short time out. This is Veterans News, brought to you by Hires Baxley and Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. We'll be back after this short time out. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We are located at the Paddock Mall, just outside the food court entrance in the Brick City Beautiful, Ocala, Florida. We'll be right back after this short timeout.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
It's now official. The general election cycle of 2020 is complete. Joe Biden is the 46th president of the United States.
Today, on this January day, my whole soul is in this, bringing America together, uniting our people, uniting our nation, and I ask every American to join me in this cause.
As Biden was calling for unity, police declared an unlawful assembly Wednesday night in Portland, Oregon, after about 150 rioters caused damage to the ICE building and the Democrat headquarters, smashing windows and vandalizing structures. Antifa's message was clear: we don't want Biden, we want revenge. 8 adults were arrested. President Trump received a warm greeting from supporters in South Florida on Wednesday morning as he made his way through Mar-a-Lago Resort after leaving the White House. His limousine made a slow roll through the streets as he waved to supporters. USA Radio News.
Newsmax TV. Everyone is watching it now. President Trump says he loves it. And more than 30 million Americans tune into Newsmax TV. With great shows and analysts like Dick Morris, Rudy Giuliani, Michelle Malkin, Diamond and Silk, Mike Huckabee, Alan Dershowitz, and a lot more. Every night you can watch Newsmax's #1 show, Greg Kelly Reports. Greg Kelly and Newsmax are unafraid to tell the truth about the election, how big tech is censoring you, and Joe Biden's dangerous plans. You need to watch Newsmax TV. Get Newsmax on all major cable systems or check your guide. If you don't get Newsmax, call your cable operator. Tell them you want Newsmax. And remember, Newsmax is free on Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Xumo, TiVo Plus, Pluto, Chromecast, and most smart TVs like Samsung and LG. And don't forget to download the free Newsmax TV app. All other cable news channels ask you to pay, but Newsmax's app is free. So start watching anytime, anywhere in the world.
Here's a link. Unhappy with your smile? You don't have to be. Thousands of people have used Candid, the clear, comfortable, removable, and practically invisible aligners to help straighten their teeth, like Cameron S. in Nashville. Candid helped give him perfect teeth for his wedding, and Candid is here to help straighten your teeth, too. Your treatment is prescribed and closely monitored remotely by a licensed orthodontist who's an expert in tooth movement. And while other companies use general dentists, Candid only works with orthodontists. And the same orthodontist who created your plan is with you from start to finish. The average Candid treatment is about 6 months. You'll start seeing results way before that. Become your best you. Start straightening your teeth today. Right now, you can save $75 on Candid Starter Kit. Go to candidco.com/Bubba and use the code Bubba. That's candidco.com/Bubba, code Bubba. Take advantage of this limited time offer to save $75 on your starter kit. candidco.com/Bubba, code Bubba. Or go to rickandbubba.com.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to. Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Hi, this is Tish. I've been with the station a long time, and the best part of my job is the nice people I work with. My decades of experience gives me the background to help businesses reach their goals. Whether your business is large or small, before you make your next marketing decision, give me a call. The number is 352-732-8000, or email me at Tisha, T-I-S-H-I-A, at WOCA.com. Working together, we can come up with a marketing plan that works.
There's no better time to plant trees in Florida than right now during the cool winter months, and you know that Bob Wines continues with this great deal on shade trees. Buy one at Bob's super low price and get another one for half price. Now that's any tree, any size, only at Bob Wines. Check this out. A great selection of winter hardy annuals, just 69 cents, or get a flat of 18 for just $9.99. Camellias? Where else but at Bob Wines during the Camellia Show Spectacular. Early blooming camellias starting at just $9.99. And get this, citrus trees including lemon, lime, tangerine, tangelo, orange, grapefruit, kumquat, many others. Buy one, get one for half price. Check inside the greenhouse, half price deals on statuary, fountains and pottery, and more. Don't miss the Camellia Show Spectacular, daily till 4, Saturdays till 3. Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street in the same blooming place since 1952.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. It is Veterans News. The third Thursday of every month, the good folks from the VA clinic come in to speak with us. Dr. Jose Torres Rodriguez, he's the chief medical officer. He is in studio with us along with Cecilia Millar. She is the nurse manager for the VA clinic here in Ocala. And before we went to break, I was talking to you about the homeless population and what are some of the things that happen, because sometimes I think the homeless fall through the cracks, and there's a lot of the homeless people, when you ask them, I've talked to some of them quite extensively, and they are former veterans that maybe are suffering from a mental illness, or they came back to a world that wasn't the world they left when they left. And and when I'm talking about veterans, I'm not talking about Vietnam veterans. I'm talking more about Afghanistan, Iraq, those veterans. They come back and they saw things, and things happened to them and all that caused mental situations and all. And they're on the streets because they've been thrown out of an apartment because at 3 o'clock in the morning they heard a car backfire or something, and they freaked out and tore their apartment up, and there's different reasons, and so they're on the streets. Are there things in place at the VA to reach out to those people to make sure their health care is taken care of?
Well, we have a program called Hot Vash, and the veteran, they can come to the office, ask to the social worker, and they can verify eligibility for the program, because every program you need to be eligible for it.
Right.
And based on eligibility, they can receive housing and get enrolled in the program.
And when they say eligibility, they're going to check and make sure who you say you are,
yes,
and that you hadn't been dishonorably discharged.
Right.
Because a lot of people, that's a question a lot of people have. If you've been dishonorably discharged, do you still get the benefits of the VA?
It depends on the grounds.
So some can, some can't.
Depends on what happened. Some of the veterans dishonorable, they can get temporary benefits and until it's resolved, and if the time comes up, then they lose the benefits.
And less honorable the same way, I would guess. It's a case-by-case basis.
And honorable veterans, depending of the income and depending of where they are and the era they serve, they have benefits or not.
Because I find that a lot of the homeless veterans are honorably discharged. They served their country, they served their country well, and then they just through hard times, or they come back and they maybe come back to a family life that is not like the war-torn area they just left, so there's a lot of divorce that goes on and everything there. Can they get counseling for all of those issues at the VA?
Yes, they can. We have mental health counseling. And we have psychologists, social workers, and psychiatrists available for them.
Is that a large part of what is done at this clinic, is mental health work?
Well, most of the work is primary care. Mm-hmm. That's the largest department, but mental health has a lot of veterans as well that are not receiving primary care services in Ocala. can be enrolled in the Villages or Gainesville, and they come to Ocala because they like mental health in Ocala. And it's pretty large population. The availability of services is there, but it's very popular here. Also, we provide, we have veterans that are receiving mental health care virtually from Pittsburgh. There's a psychiatry group that see patients from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I would think that one of the areas that virtual could really benefit or really thrive in is mental health psychiatry, because you need to speak to somebody. You need to talk about what's going on with you, and you can do that virtually. You know, it's not like you have to draw blood or you have to do something like that. You're speaking with somebody that maybe has walked a mile in your shoes, and I bet you could do large groups with the virtual, with Zoom and everything. There's a lot of options.
They have a lot of support groups.
Yes. Now the groups, because of COVID, that changed. So those veterans that have capability for virtual, some of the mental health teams are doing groups in different clinics, and the veterans stay at home. They just meet in like Zoom platform that you have more than one person in the group. Some platforms are based for that, and some groups for support groups.
When you talk about preventative health care, because that's primarily what you do, you said hospitals do immediate health care, but you do preventative health care. Is some of the work that you do, can you help with preventative medicine, like help with alcoholism, drug addiction, those type of things?
Yeah, we have programs that work. We have a substance abuse program. The services are in the Villages and Gainesville. We don't have a psychologist in Ocala, but we can refer the veteran there to receive services. Also, if the veteran requires or need a mission based on addiction issues, they are referred to a local hospital or Gainesville for admission for substance abuse.
So they can be admitted for substance abuse. There is the option of admission as well.
Yes, the patient, if the patient recognize and accept that they have a problem, because that's the first step, you need to accept that you have a problem. You can talk to your psychologist or psychiatrist and say, I want to be admitted, I have this problem, I need your help. And we can help them.
How many, on a daily basis, you can ballpark it, how many veterans on a daily basis do we help at the VA clinic here in Ocala?
Oh, wow, we have like
hundreds, thousands?
A daily in our clinic?
Daily, yeah.
Hundreds, yeah.
And we've heard in the past about horror stories about how long you're on a waiting list for the VA, and you heard stories about, I called the VA and they set an appointment for 8 months and I need to be seen now. Is that a thing of the past?
It was. It happened. Not here.
But it's not happening. But it's not happening
here.
Now.
No. Our access is just less than 7 days.
Right. I mean, it happened in a lot of different places around the country. Never happened here in Ocala.
No.
Never happened in Gainesville. Didn't happen in the Villages.
No.
But it was happening. But that's been addressed now on the federal. That's been addressed on the federal level, and it's not an issue anymore.
No. It's illegal just to keep waiting lists and wait times, and basically that's why we are here to serve the veteran, and the appointment system, it's up in speed, and the doctors are available to see new patients.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you. Bless you. Okay, fourth one, that's it. Bless you. He's allergic to us.
Whenever I get into a fit like that, there's 8 or 10 of them.
Okay.
I was not nice to my nose when I was in my 20s. I'll just leave it at that. I'm a recovering addict of over 25 years. So we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay.
Bless you.
But about the appointment time, and we are good.
We have access.
We have access. Even veterans that are traveling,
can see them.
We can see them. Patients that walk in the clinic, we provide access to them as well. If they're not enrolled, then eligibility officer, they check eligibility. If they are enrolled in another VA system, it's easier to process the application, of course. Those that are new to the VA, they need to present a DD-214 and an identification, Social Security, to the eligibility to verify the information.
We need to take a break. Two reasons. One, I got to take care of the sneezing fit I just had, but we also need to pay some bills. When we come back, I want to talk to you about if you're facing the same thing the general public healthcare is facing, and it's in shortages of doctors and nurses. We'll talk about that because healthcare workers right now, there's a shortage of them with the pandemic going on. We'll talk about that after this short timeout. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Started in 1975. It's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie thank you for another successful year and to wish you and yours a year ahead full of health, faith, and compassion. In addition to our pasture mowing, we also offer fence line spraying for weed control and rototilling for your winter gardens. We are family owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm ready. Powell Gene, Gene at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Hey folks, here's your invitation to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens for this year's Camellia Show Spectacular. By all means, bring your walking shoes. You'll experience 5 acres of gorgeous camellias right there in one place. Better yet, you can get your own Bob Wine's heirloom camellias. They're blooming sun and shade-loving Sasanqua camellias, and they're just $9.99. The selection is fantastic. And while you're there, check out these hot deals for cool weather. Citrus trees, buy one, get one at half price. Fruit trees, your choice, 50% off. Bunches of winter perennials, just $2.99. Check inside the greenhouse for statuary, fountains, and pottery. Buy one, get one for half price. Don't miss that Camellia Show. It's going on right now at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person, it's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. We're in the final segment of Vet News. Third Thursday of every month, the VA clinic here in Ocala. Coming to talk with us, I'm talking with Dr. Jose Torres Rodriguez. He's the Chief Medical Officer, and Cecilia Millar. She is the nurse manager at the VA clinic. And, you know, we just had, before you guys came in, we had the College of Central Florida had their the two instructors talking about the shortage of frontline healthcare workers and how they were, you know, offering new programs from all the way from EMT and paramedics through radiology, dentist assistants, dental assistants, all the way through the RN program because there's a shortage. Are you experiencing in the VA that you're seeing a shortage of healthcare workers as well?
Yeah, there's not in Ocala, our clinic. We are staffed with nurses and providers, doctors, but in general, the VA, the agency, has a shortage of providers. Providers are retiring, or they move from public sector to private sector, and that caused some shortage in services. Yes, and we can talk about burnout.
Yeah, because I'm sure the burnout rate for veterans, for healthcare workers with veterans, is got to be pretty high.
Correct, because we are constantly changing from one system to the other. The demand of services require the providers to see more patients at a time compared like it was, and we're not talking about including the walk-ins and veterans that are not established in the facility that are added to the operational basis. So we cannot keep everything balanced and have everybody happy, the staff and the veterans as well.
Would I be correct in thinking, in my mind, I think a veteran gets out of the military. Mm-hmm. They start their VA benefits with health care benefits. And then as they get older, like I go from doctor to doctor with new insurance possibilities and all, and my doctors change and my insurance plans. I may have a different doctor than I had 2 years ago, or I have a different doctor than I have. But I don't have the same. I don't go to the same office over. My perception as a veteran goes to the same. If he lives in the Ocala area, he's been in the VA clinic. If he's been here 20 years, he's been at that VA clinic for 20 years, seeing the same personnel. Or I know the personnel changed, but the same process. Am I right in that that's how that works?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would think you'd have burnout just from seeing the same people and seeing the same problems a lot of times over and over.
Well, most of the time, you know your patients,
not
know,
necessarily.
and the relationship, it's different. You know, you know who, when you hear the name of the veteran, you know who is he or she, their needs, and sometimes depending on the situation, you feel it. You know, we feel for every veteran, of course, but some of them that, when they are very close to us, like I have veterans that are being with me for 6-7 years.
Right. So you develop a bond with them.
Yes, yes. And we, in medical school and nursing school, we talk about patient-provider relationship. And sometimes at the beginning when you are in school, you don't know what is that or what they mean with that. And now when you work and you have a person that you know for so long, it's like a family member. You know, you get involved with them and you feel when they lose a family member or something happened to them, you know, or when you learn that one of your patients die and the reasons when they pass, you know, it's there. It touches you very, very much.
I think that leads to a lot of burnout because it's like when a patient of yours passes away, it's like a part of your family's passed away.
Yes, yes.
And I know the sorrow of losing family members.
And mostly suddenly, when one day you have a call or a call from the funeral home.
Say Jimmy had a heart attack and passed away, and you were like, I saw Jimmy 3 days ago. He was in perfect health. He was in good health.
Yes, yes.
I bet those are the ones that are tough.
Yeah, and things happen, but you feel it.
How many of the healthcare workers, nurses, doctors, nurse practitioners, whatever that you use, how many of you have actual veteran experience yourself?
In our clinic that are working, I would say we have about 40% of us staff are veterans.
So there's a large percentage of the staff that served that are veterans that served in the armed forces.
Yes,
that's a great number because they understand walking in a mile of the veteran shoes.
They're veterans themselves. Yeah.
Yes.
And I bet that goes a long way in building a rapport too, because they understand the language and they understand it. Not that everybody does it, but a veteran understands a veteran more than a non-veteran would. Like my father was a veteran. I understood my father well, but his buddies understood my father a little better than me because they had been to war with him. You know, one of the toughest jobs I would think is to be a field doctor, a field medic or something like that. I don't wish that on anybody, but it's one of the most selfless jobs that there probably is in the world, is someone that goes on the battlefield and does the job y'all do on the battlefield.
Yeah, and you learn a lot with that experience too.
I bet you do.
Because you learn how to resolve with the minimal tools just to preserve life. It's a battle on the battlefield.
It's got to be tough.
It is.
And it's not like MASH. MASH was a TV show, so get that out of your head.
No. Yeah.
What do we have anything coming up at the VA? Any kind of programs or anything that you want to tell anybody about that is coming up in the next month or so that to get people in to take advantage of? With spring coming, is there a push to get more people to get you do your yearly physicals and everything to make sure that your health is where it needs to be as preventive wise?
We encourage the veterans, if they have any needs, to contact their primary care teams. Also, we are kind of encouraging to get involved in My Healthy Vet, which is a virtual program where you have access to your medical records. You can contact your doctor directly through email. You can see your labs. You can see your notes, your X-rays, your results. And you can have a track of your health and monitor your health closely. Your medicines, the patient can renew the medicines directly. You don't need to call the office to renew the medicines. You just, if you have refills, of course, with a click of a button, you can refill your medicines. And the application is virtual. There's an app, and you can also access that through the computer.
If people want to know more information, is there a website they can go to find out more about the VA clinic here in Ocala?
Well, for the VA clinic, they can come to the office, 1515 East Silver Springs Boulevard, or they can call 352-369-3320.
Thanks for the work y'all do. Y'all are doing God's work. I just want you to both to know that, all of your staff, because to me, the most important people in this country are the people who sacrifice for the freedoms we get to enjoy every day without understanding what it took to preserve those freedoms. So thanks for helping out those people that preserve those freedoms. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom.
Dr. Jose Torres Rodriguez, the Chief Medical Officer of the VA clinic here in Ocala, and Cecilia Millar, she is the nurse manager for the VA clinic. They're in every third Thursday. See y'all next month.
All right, see you, Tom.
We'll take a time out. When we come back, we'll talk with Lori at Bob Wine's Community Garden, find out what's going on over there, what's on the cheap, what's on the agenda. Hey, maybe there's some fruit trees. Maybe I need some more fruit trees. Nah, I don't think I need more fruit trees, but maybe, who knows, some camellias. We'll see everything that Lori's got to offer. We'll talk to her next. This is 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.